And end chapter. So we've got a good amount of intellect here. I think you need over 300 to get a good ending. So we're in a good position for that. Did we get charm this chapter? Is that just from last chapter? And then we gain some kindness. Some time had passed since we left the village. Each village we stopped at was more and more hostile towards us. It had gotten to the point where we had to stay away from heavily traveled paths for fear of being seen. For a while I was afraid that CHAEL'S or CHAEL'S might turn me in, but it seemed that they were loyal companions after all. I was so thankful to have them by my side. Let's stop here for now. We're almost there, and we don't want to get too close to the city until we have to. CHAEL'S and I nodded in agreement, and we began setting up camp. Well, it looks like I have some free time to spend around camp before nightfall. What should I do? Let's talk to CHAEL'S. What can I do for you, princess? Talk. Hey, CHAEL'S, what do you like to do for fun? Fun? Yeah, you know. What do you enjoy doing? What makes you happy? I'm not sure. I've never thought about it before. Don't they have games or anything in Milan? Oh, they do. But I was never allowed to participate in them, so I'm not sure if I would enjoy them or not. That's sad. Or, well, let's find something you do enjoy then. And what do you propose, princess? Why don't we wander around the area for a bit? How will that help? You'll see. So, what do you think? I think I enjoy life, being surrounded by nature, and being with you. Really? I enjoy being with you too. Actually, I have something I've been meaning to give to you. Ooh, our red hearts! I found it in the market of the last village we visited, and it's a very rare find outside of Milan. Here, it's a tiara made out of authentic elven silver. You may not be official anymore, but you'll always be a princess to me. Aww! Look at his little blush. Thank you so much, or I can't accept something like this. We're obviously gonna say thank you. Received elven tiara. It's so beautiful, CHAEL'S. And to tell you the truth, I kind of missed my old tiara. I just didn't feel right without it. Just like I wouldn't feel right if you weren't here with me. Before I met you, I never believed in fate, but I believe that we were brought together for a reason. I wouldn't have thought it, but you're actually quite romantic, aren't you? Only with you, princess. What should I do? Let's talk to Greeley. I think my day just got 10 times better. What's up? Poor Greeley, he's only at a blue heart. I've neglected you, I'm sorry. So let's talk to him first, and then I'll come back and ask about Pyralis, which should be the last piece of that mini quest for the intelligent personality type. I know that you were a high-ranking officer in the army during the war, but what were you before that, during the long period of peace? Actually, even then I was involved in the military, but it was a different kind of work. You see, not all demons are strong and powerful. Some tribes are actually quite weak and fragile, so they need extra protection now and then. Protection from what? Other tribes, mostly. Or in the worst case, dragons. Those dragons are nasty little buggers. They destroy everything in sight, and wrestling with them certainly ain't easy. You didn't wrestle them with your bare hands, did you? Of course I did. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Well... Anyway, while they were tough to beat, I usually managed to scare them off long enough to help out the tribe. I did manage to actually defeat one, though, and even took a souvenir, one of its claws. I made it into a necklace that I always keep with me, as a reminder of the good old days. That's so cool! Thanks. Are you glad that you don't have to do that anymore? Definitely. Though it would be pretty funny to watch CHAEL try to wrestle one of those dragons. It would, wouldn't it? What should I do? Ask about Pyrolis. So, you want to know more about my home, huh? I do. What can you tell me about it? Well, let's see. Basically, it's made up of many different demon tribes, each with their own unique characteristics. All of Pyrolis is ruled by the 7 Sisters of Hell, who are the daughters of the Supreme God of Chaos himself. Supreme God? All the gods who are part of the Great Council now are only so entitled. There are very few true ones left. The ones who are true are descended directly from the 2 original beings who created this world. You see, in the beginning there were 2 powerful beings, a god and a goddess. Together they created this world. The god had the power of chaos, and created everything that is dark and evil, as some would call it. He called the land Pyrolis, and created strange, beast-like creatures who could withstand its harsh climates. He made each type of creature from scratch, imbuing each species with certain qualities which would allow it to survive. The most powerful of these, known as True Bloods, were made in his own image and were granted the power of darkness. All of his creations, then, were granted the power of great physical strength, which allowed them to move and shape their surroundings. That is how the Supreme God of Chaos created Pyrolis. This story sounds strangely familiar. Where have I heard something like it before? Oh, I remember! It's just like the story about the creation of Nalan. Really? What is it? The feuding between Pyrolis and Nalan doesn't make sense at all. What do you mean by that? I mean, you said that your god and a goddess created the world together, right? Have you ever thought about what happened to the goddess from the story? Not really. She's never really mentioned in the story of creation. She is in Nalan. I think the goddess who made Nalan is the same goddess who helped create the world. You really think so? Come on, let's find CHAEL. What is it, princess? CHAEL, have you ever heard the Pyrolan story of creation? No, of course not. I'm surprised at such idiotic creatures even. Hey, be nice. Believe it or not, your story and his complement each other perfectly. I think that the god who made Pyrolis and the goddess who made Nalan were the god and goddess who created the world. Together! Don't you see what this means? In the beginning, the Nalani and Pyrolans weren't enemies, they were friends. They both had their role to play in the world, and they complemented each other. I suppose that makes sense. But it's kind of hard to wrap your head around, isn't it? I mean, we've hated each other for so long. It does make one wonder why the hatred began in the first place. Oh boy, is that a story. Maybe I'll get around to telling that story someday. And how the other half of the story just disappeared. Ah well, guess there's no point in worrying about it now. What do you say, friends? Well, let's stick with acquaintances. Alrighty. We're almost done, I swear. There's like 2 more chapters, maybe? Maybe technically 3. We're almost done, I promise. When we finally arrived at our destination, we were surprisingly welcome. Well, in comparison. Rather than the hostility offered to us at other villages, we were instead met with mere indifference. What could have changed? Did Nephron finally pull his forces out of the area? Excuse me, are you Princess Zuleika? No, I'm... Yes, she is. CHAEL! It's alright, Princess. I can tell that she means us no harm. I have a message for you from His Majesty, the Emperor. A message? It's been a while, hasn't it, Princess? The castle has been quite lonely without you. For whatever it was that caused you to leave, I would like to make amends. I am holding a royal ball at the castle in 1 month's time. I would be truly honored if the beautiful princess would make an appearance. We'll be awaiting your arrival, Princess. This sounds like a trap. Maybe so, but this could also be a perfect opportunity. A perfect opportunity for what exactly? Princess, over the last few months we've seen firsthand what has happened to your nation as a result of that man's rule. If you truly care for your people as much as I believe you do, then I'm afraid there's only one way to help them. We have to dethrone him. So glad that we're talking about this. In the middle of the street, guys. You guys, you would actually be willing to do something like that? This isn't even your nation. Through our travels with you, Princess, this land has become like a second home to us. That's right. We want to see it thrive, not crumble under the rule of a crazy monarch. We all know what happened last time we failed to act in a case like this. There's no way we could all withstand another continental war. I need to think about this for a while. I'll meet up with you guys later. Very well, Princess. Do what you need to do. In my heart, I guess I always knew it would come to this. I just hoped that I would be able to spend a bit more time with my friends first. I'll wander around town a bit to clear my head and think about it later, after I've had some time to relax. What should I do? This should be the last town that we go to. So our last time to buy stuff at the shop. Welcome to the library, the center for useful information. What would you like to do? We'll start with some research as usual. I'm really unprepared for this ball, but maybe these books on how to dance will help. What should I do? Go back to the library and let's teach another class. Wow, that was so refreshing. My students were great and asked some really stimulating questions. I think they ended up teaching me more than I taught them, but sometimes it's just the way it works. Sorry, I'm breezing through that because we've already seen that a few times. If I am still planning on remaking this game. But if I were to just fix up this version of it a little bit more, one of the things that drives me nuts is how they always say the same thing. just a little bit of variation, just a little, would make such a big difference. And for the last one, let's take a class. Sheesh, what a grouchy teacher. All I did was ask for a little bit of proof and he kicked me out. Oh well, I learned a lot anyway, even without help from the teacher. When I arrived at the inn that night, I found only CHAEL waiting for me. What have you decided, Princess? You guys were right. The only way Tyreka will ever be able to rebuild itself to its former glory is if a good, reliable king is on the throne, and Nephron does not fit that description. No, he definitely does not. There's something else we need to discuss as well. What is it, Shale? All three of us going to the ball is too risky. Not only would it be more difficult to get in, but if something were to go wrong, at least one of us needs to survive in order to carry on the mission. So, you're saying I can only choose one of you to go with me? Yes, Princess, I'm afraid so. I understand. I'll think about it. Please do. In the meantime, sleep well. I doubted that I would be able to sleep well that night, not with so much running through my head. And next chapter. We've got lots of intellect now. Wow. Actually got quite a bit of charm as well. Strength, 0. Strength, not quite 0, but pretty darn close. The month flew by quickly, and before I knew it, it was the day before the ball. I still hadn't figured out what I was going to do. I didn't even want to think about it. Remember this spot, Princess? I looked around, startled from my thoughts. When I realized where we were, I smiled. This is where our adventure started, isn't it? It feels like it's been years since that day. It's hard to believe that this is the last night we'll spend together. Oh, Karile. The way you say that. This isn't that kind of game, I swear. I've had so much fun with you two. Just makes it worse. I've had a lot of fun with you too, Karile. No matter what happens tomorrow, I'll never forget the time we've spent together. Neither will we, Princess. Let's make this day count for all it's worth. Yeah, let's do it. We spent the day relaxing and playing by the riverside. I think even the ever-serious CHAEL had fun. He sure had changed since the first time we met. Since the last time we met, yeah, sure. Karile was the same as ever, always laughing and joking around. His smile lit up the whole world. But as much as I enjoyed our day together, I knew that it was about to come to an end. That night, I was approached by just the person I wanted to see. This is obviously based on who do you have more affection with, who is obviously CHAEL at this point. Good evening, Princess. We need to talk. Yes, I know. I'm glad that I don't have to say it. In the lawn, we don't communicate through words, but rather through thoughts. Personally, I think it's much more effective. Oh, how so? With words, oftentimes the word becomes a substitute for the subject itself. People then associate feelings and thoughts with the word rather than the subject. There are some subjects, like the one described by the word love, that cannot be understood with words. They must be experienced. It almost sounds like you know this from experience. I do, thanks to you. If love is something that cannot be understood with words, then I wish I could share my thoughts with you, so you could feel how much I love you. Aww. You can. Here, I'll show you. He kept my chin in his hand, and as he placed his lips on mine, it felt as if we became one. I could see, feel, and hear all of his thoughts, and he could do the same with mine. That seems dangerous. That seems very scary, actually. No, CHAEL, don't see my dirty thoughts about you, please. It was strange at first, but it was also the most amazing thing I'd ever experienced. As we parted, I couldn't help but long to feel him again, but I knew, from what I felt of his thoughts, that it would have to wait. The Pyrolan won't be too happy about having to stay behind. He was really looking forward to this battle. Yeah, sounds like Karile. If everything works out, we'll have to make it up to him somehow. Agreed. The next morning when I woke up, Karile had already left. I was sad that I didn't get a chance to say goodbye, but I knew this was probably for the best. It would have been too hard to see him go. Are you ready, Princess? Not particularly. Regardless, we need to come up with a strategy for defeating Nephron. How do you think we should do it? I currently have high intelligence, low strength, high charm, and low kindness. Fun fact, I added in this bit of dialogue in the 2016 version, I believe, because I realized that actually I think before this this choice may not have existed, or maybe I just kind of threw it in the last minute. And so it's a stat check. And if you fail the stat check, then you get one of the bad endings. Which are pretty bad. not gonna lie. They're pretty bad endings. But I realized that you didn't have a way to see the status screen before this choice, and so if you weren't paying attention, you might not know what stats you have really high of. So I added this little bit of dialogue to be like, hey, choose one of these high ones, because if you do one of the low ones, you're screwed. Which one of these plans would play to my strengths? Outsmart him, fight him head on, negotiate with him, or ask Durin for help. I think these are obvious, right? And intellect, strength. These two are a little less obvious, but they're in the same order as all the other things, so this is charm, negotiate is charm, and then ask Durin is kindness. But we have high intellect, so we're gonna go with outsmart him. Since intelligence is our strength, we should use it to our advantage. That sounds like an excellent idea, Princess. Shall we go then? Yes, let's go. By the time we arrived at the ball, the room was full of guests, many of whom I recognized as nobles from the High Court. AKA the people who tossed poor Zuleika out of her position. So glad to see you guys again. Well, here we are. Is something wrong, CHAEL? I don't like crowded places. Neither do I, but let's try to enjoy ourselves while we're here, okay? Very well. Would you like to dance? I'm not actually very good at dancing. Just follow my lead, Princess, and I'm sure you'll do fine. As the two of us began dancing, I stumbled a lot at first, but soon we were gliding across the dance floor. For a while, I was able to lose myself in the movements and the pleasure of his company, but we were soon approached by the host himself. Hey! This is the first time we get to meet this guy! Which is terrible storytelling, by the way, but you know. Ah, there you are, little princess. I've been waiting for you. I'm sure you have. But I agree with what you said in your letter. We should put the past behind us. I'm glad you think so, Princess. I'd like to propose a toast, if I may. Of course. I'll have the servants bring out the wine. I held up my wine glass, and Nephron, along with all the guests, did the same. A toast to the Tarakan Empire, the grandest empire that ever existed. Long live His Imperial Majesty. Long live His Imperial Majesty. Our plan was a success. Nephron drank the wine happily, oblivious to the slow-acting poison that had been slipped into his drink. By the time midnight struck, he would be a mighty emperor no more. I love how Zuleika gets tossed out of her position, and she's just Nephron let her live. But Zuleika can't spare him. No. We gotta kill him. That's the only way. We gotta kill him. Terrible. Here's the murder, guys. Remember the content warning? Here's the murder. Well, Your Majesty, we've enjoyed our time, but we really must be going now. Leaving so soon, you only just arrived. We'll be back soon, I'm sure. Very well, Princess. I look forward to seeing you again. Why are you just letting her go, dude? You sent all those guys after her, you sent Durin after her, and you're just gonna let her go. As do I. We did it! I can't believe it! I never doubted you for a second, Princess. I was sure we would succeed. Thank you, CHAEL. What will you do now that you're free, so to speak? To be honest, I haven't really thought about it. Somehow I am not surprised. Hey, what do you mean by that? Nothing. I have a proposition, if you'd like to hear it. Sure, I'm listening. This may seem sudden, but... Princess, will you marry me? Yes, of course I will. I would be honored to be your wife, CHAEL. I'm so happy. Thank you, Zuleika. Now, the dot there is significant because this is the first time that he actually called her by name instead of Princess. Just, just in case no one else noticed. A few weeks later, I went with CHAEL to his homeland of Nalan, where I was blessed by the High Priestesses of Order. There, in the sacred forests of Nalan, the two of us were joined in holy matrimony, the first marriage ever between two angels. Once we were married, we agreed to return to Tyreka to take on the difficult task of rebuilding the nation. Without Nephron to back them up, the High Court gave in and allowed me to take my rightful place on the throne. I was gonna say they didn't really have any alternatives, but I guess there was always Durin, right? Thus, with CHAEL by my side, I became the Empress of Tyreka, much to the delight of the public. Durin remains as the next in line to the throne, and being freed from his master, he was finally able to help the people as he had always wanted. Kurile, still determined as ever to turn over a new leaf, started up a small group in the city to catch criminals, thus forming the first organized police force. As for CHAEL and I, we lived happily ever after. And that is my story. Ending 1 of 15. Woo! Although I just realized... Where'd my credits go? Oh no! There used to be a... Maybe I just skipped it by accident. But there's supposed to be credits that roll after you finish a thing. I might have commented on that. Oops. Well, sometime before July 30th, I'll fix that. Alright, so that was Memoirs of an Angel. Here, I'll mute this. Super exciting. I'm really being able to see that go to Steam after 14 years. Super exciting. Go check it out, wishlist it, or get it from itch if you really want to. Yeah, Thank you, everyone. I will stream again, same time, same place, next Saturday. I'm going to try to do streams more often, uh, but no guarantees. My little offline banner on Twitch said that I stream every Saturday, and it said that for 8 years without me streaming. So no guarantees, no guarantees. But um, I would like to stream more often. I will definitely be streaming Memoirs of an Angel again next Saturday. I haven't decided yet whether we're gonna do Corelli's route or take a break because it's 80% the same as CHAEL'S route. Maybe I'll take a break and do like Dern's route next. But we'll see. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye.